I'm Kaylin. I'm giving this speech about banned books. This is my audience.
I'm Jean, Caitlin's mom.
I'm Joyce, and I'm Caitlin's aunt.
I'm Tyler, and I'm Caitlin's cousin.
There's a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. Mark Twain by Brainy Quotes. Now, depending on your point of view, banned books can either foster ignorance, stunt intellectual growth, or promote closed-mindedness. Or, if you're on the positive side of banned books, it could protect children and show discretion to the community as a whole. Now, I've done exhaustive research about this subject, and I've also gathered expert opinions within that, and I have my own knowledge about it through Banned Book Week at our school. I wish to inform you about how banned books can either have a negative effect or a positive effect, and you can make an educated decision about the topic yourself afterwards. First, I'll talk about where it takes place and by whom, and then I'll go to how banning books affect people negatively, and then how banning books affect people positively. It occurs mainly at public libraries at 56%, then at 25% it happens in schools, and then at 16% it happens in school libraries. And it's mainly challenged by patrons of the library or school libraries or school, or often more by parents. Patrons are only at 42% and parents are at 32%. And a lot of challenges, that's not all of them, because a lot of challenges aren't actually reported and they're not recorded. And then I'll be going into the negative effects, which first fosters ignorance. And with these banning book society, you're shaping minds in others and taking away their choice to be knowledgeable about that specific piece of literature. In a quote, "By constricting the breadth of education, especially exposure to controversial literature, the community hinders students' ability to address and understand real-world issues." Another negative effect would be it would stunt intellectual growth. By not allowing people to broaden their horizons within these books, they aren't being allowed to inspect different viewpoints and learn and take their own position on things. A quote by Langto, "We are systematically failing to introduce the younger generation to writers who might enlarge their imaginations, enrich their emotional lives, and challenge their settled ways of thinking." Another negative effect would be it would promote closed-mindedness. Banning books shows people that certain viewpoints on subjects aren't as good as others, reinforces supporting a rejection of said viewpoint. Due to another quote by Smith, "Due to book banning, parents argue a diverse reading list which shows different viewpoints, such as racial, political, and socioeconomic views, are essential." Now on to the positive effects, which would go against negative effects. Would be you'd protect children from triggering subjects and language. Many banned books hold very adult scenes and themes that younger audiences should be censored from, such as violence and graphic content. And the former public school science teacher, she once said that, Jenny White, remarked how numerous studies on the use of graphic materials by students indicate negative psychological effects, and that's from procon.org. And Ken Heineke, a mother of 4, once said and wrote to her local superintendent of her public schools that it is not a matter of sheltering kids, it is a matter of guiding them towards what is best. We are the adults. It is our job to protect them no matter how inappropriate or unpopular it may seem. Procon. Another positive effect would be that it would show discretion to the community as a whole. It's not about stopping people from receiving books. It's not stopping people from receiving books from other sources. It just shows discretion to the community because it's not having that within public view. And a quote by Peter Spring of the Family Research Council noted that removing certain books from libraries, it showed discretion and respects the community values and doesn't prevent people from getting them from other sources, such as buying it themselves online or having their parents buy it for them if they are younger than 18, for example. In conclusion, the main places that have been challenged, that books are being challenged, are in public libraries and schools, and also in school libraries, mainly by patrons and parents. banning books may foster banning books may foster ignorance, stunt intellectual growth, promote closed-mindedness within a community. That's what some of the negative effects. Some of the positive effects would be although banning books may do that in some aspects, it may also protect children from inappropriate language and themes, and it shows discretion to community as a whole. So, do you plan to quench the thirst for the forbidden knowledge, or will you safely put the banned book back on the shelf? It is up to you to decide whether or not you consider your intellectual freedom in peril.